Hey guys, welcome to Getinthemix. In today's video, I'm going to be enrolling in the Reay School of Scratch.
Registered trademark.
After last week's video on the Numark Scratch, the Serato-enabled 2-channel scratch mixer, Matt saw my abysmal attempt at scratching and got straight on the phone and said, "What are you doing?"
First, preface this by saying I'm certainly not DMC level, but certainly I saw room for improvement.
And I felt like, well, okay, what can we do? And Matt recommended, let's run you through some scratch drills, if you will, some practice routines. And we thought we'd film it so you guys at home can also take advantage of that learning process and see how it's done. And then I think afterwards, Matt will show us how it's actually done, and we'll have a little bit of a scratch sesh.
I thought I'd kind of level this up though a bit, because you can see we're not actually using Serato here. We're using the Scratch, which is obviously perfectly capable outside of Serato. It is a hardware mixer as well. And obviously when you're out of Serato mode, you'll have access to your EQs and the filter. So we're going traditional here. We've got the battle vinyl and we're running some loops off my phone here into channel 2. And then we're just running some old school scratch sounds here on the left deck. So we're gonna go ground up. I'm gonna give you 3 scratches.
Let's get ready.
Now the cool thing about this app I'm using is each loop you can increase the speed or decrease the speed. And I will say it is like 1,000,000 degrees in this room.
It's hot.
So I'm gonna furrow in your brow, should he need it. Let's start with baby scratch.
Baby scratch.
You heard of the baby scratch?
I've heard it. I've heard that word thrown around many a time. I have never actually known exactly what it is, to be honest.
So before we actually start any kind of loops on that, go through what the baby scratch is. We're not going to go anywhere near this here.
So it's off limits.
Just ignore that. Never happened.
Like that.
Ignore
Doesn't
that.
exist. Not there.
We've got our scratch sound here on our vinyl. Classic R. Now as you can see, where it says volume 4, it lines up perfectly with the needle
nice
there.
and handy,
So it's a nice way to mark the vinyl. Obviously we can stick this up kind of old school, but we'll just use this as a visual cue here. So make sure we've got the vinyl in the right place, where the sound is. And with baby scratch, all you're going to do is just use your left hand backwards and forwards. All that's going to do is build up your record hand, basically.
Okay.
It's all about record control.
Muscle memory
Yep.
almost. Like.
So literally this: forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward. Now if we run it with a beat, it's going to sound like this. A bit faster. A bit faster maybe. That's it.
Right.
I don't want you going anywhere near this right here.
Take this up.
Yeah, cool.
Not
So make sure you start the motor. Make sure you've got it in the right place. Cool. That sounds good to me.
Cool. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right.
You got very excited in the middle there.
I did. Got a bit too carried away.
Okay, so let's try this now. Just that movement, but I'm gonna start increasing the tempo on the app.
Okay.
Buckle up. Right. 3, 4. Cool. Right. Let's go higher. Going higher. Now try and double time that. So, there we go. Cool. Nice. So the whole point of that is getting your hand used to
Just memorising that pattern. It's
being in time.
getting used to that
Yeah.
movement with your left
Yeah,
hand.
you can probably feel it's starting to get a bit...
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. I'm suitably impressed. Now, let's use this same loop. Now, what we would do now is, let's introduce the crossfader a little bit.
That's my favourite bit.
Yeah, cool. Of course. If you've just seen his earlier video.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got is the tap.
Yeah. So just interestingly, if you've seen the Scratch unboxing video, which is great, James is doing a lot of what we call the transform. So that's basically an easy way to make kind of really funky, quick sounds. Is you're moving the record back and forth, but then you're tapping in the crossfader. Like that.
I'm already impressed.
Yeah, but we're not going to go transforming at the moment. We're going to do still this kind of backwards and forwards motion, but we're going to choose the crossfader with a chirp. Now.
Okay.
Chirp invented by Jazzy Jeff. For fans of fact, definitely your G.
My G.
From Colchester, yeah?
Yeah, mate, down the road.
So let's start with the chirp. So let's keep the same beat going. Actually, before we do the beat, I'll show you what the technique is now. Finally, time for the crossfader. So the movement on the record is forward, back, forward, back.
So it's the same as what we were just doing there with the
Forward,
baby
back,
chirp,
yep.
baby scratch, not the baby chirp.
Yep. Make sure you're right at the top of the sample. Forward, back. You are closing, starting with the fader open, but you're closing the crossfader pretty much as soon as you move the record forward, basically. So like this. So as soon as you go forward, you're going forward almost like a millisecond kind of before.
Such a small delay, but just about, so we don't get no sound.
That's why it's called the chirp, because it sounds like a bird chirping, basically. So forward and close, then back, open, forward, back, back.
Right.
So before we start the beat, try the technique.
Few chirps.
Yeah, few chirps. So start with it open. Start at the top of the sample. Yep. Cool.
Ooh, I'm better on the go than I am on the back.
That's good. It's almost like you knew I was coming down.
It's almost like I might have practiced for 10 minutes earlier. Is that chirpy enough?
I think that I would give that 6 out of an available 10 chirps.
6 out of 10 chirps. I'd like it a few more chirps than that, to be honest.
Okay. I'll tell you what, let's do with the beat. I'm start getting cruel now.
Oh.
Getting adventurous now, mate. He's ad-libbing, he's improvising. Last one. Cool. Cool.
Got it. Oh, I'm sweating out so much. It's so hot. Right, so what's the next routine? Where are we going with this?
So bearing in mind it's gone up about another 1,000,000 degrees in this room.
It's getting hotter by the second.
We're on the home stretch. We're going to do transforming now.
Okay, my favourite.
Yeah, your favourite. But once I show you this, I want you to put all 3 together.
Oh, you're joking. All right.
No, I'm quite serious.
All right, let's do this.
So, that's moved again. One sec.
Who's there?
Okay, so transforming. So we already explained this a little bit earlier. So we're going to move the record forward, back, obviously in time with the loop. But how transforming is going to work is you've just got just a slight bit of pressure on your thumb, and you're tapping in the crossfader each time, and it bounces back using the pressure you put on your thumb.
Think about it like a gate in a DAW or something. It's just opening and closing for just a second.
Essentially, that's almost being a kill switch, basically.
Yeah.
So let's just do 3 taps. So 3 forward and 3 back. So you're always finishing closed. So with the beat. Now the faster you move the record, it's going to sound a little different. So it's going to sound a bit chirpier. Yeah. So a bit like a chirp.
Yeah. Oof. Jeez.
So, off you go, sir.
Right.
Make sure you're at the top of the sample.
Yeah. So 3 there, 3 back.
So 3 forward, 3 back. I'm just going to jump straight in. And again. It's pretty funky, mate. You ain't messing around now. I can sense your relief when we take the tempo down.
I almost liked it faster, I think.
Ambitious. Okay, I've seen enough. So, what we're going to do now is combine all those 3 together.
All 3 techniques.
Yeah. So this is kind of up to you, really, however you want to do it.
There's no rules on this one.
The only rules are the 3 techniques you
Yeah,
learn.
just use the techniques. All right.
And always the key thing with scratching is anyone who's watching this who is, getting into it or, wants to get into it is the last thing you want to do is, it's a classic case of walk before you can run,
Like that, about 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. Mate, that was Olympic level of running. So what we're going to do is just maybe throw in like 2 babies, 2 chirps, and then some transforms.
Okay.
So it could be something like, if I run the loop up again, so you'd be going like fader open. Something like that. I think that's been his favourite move so far.
Couldn't resist that.
If you turn the motor off and just let it go.
I'm gonna end on that, I'll tell you.
Yeah. It's kind of like slow motion. Okay, cool. So I'm going to let you freestyle now.
Yeah, right, let's see how this goes.
Hello? Oh.
Hello?
I'm going to throw the beat on, but I might switch the loop halfway through.
No, no. Game changer.
Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
Are you warm enough? Okay, last thing I want you to do, is after you've jammed around a bit, I want you to just finish with letting the sample go.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
I mean, playing, so, or like the stopping.
So however you want to rock this. So after you've jammed around, you could just tie it up nicely.
Yeah, just with a whole one.
Just letting it go, because that almost sounds like I've finished.
Yeah.
You know. Okay.
Doesn't have to be long.
Beautiful. If you think about it, you let those samples go in the middle of phrasing. It's almost like punctuation.
See, that's all I've been able to do before, is just
almost.
let it go.
Yeah.
And cut it in and out.
Yeah.
Bring it back, let it go. But it's nice that chirps is nice. Another sound. It's kind of adding to your arsenal of sounds that you can whip out and crack on with. It's really cool. And do you know what? For anyone out there, this is the first time I've used an actual vinyl.
I was just about to say, this is the first traditional vinyl setup.
And it feels really, really good. Now, obviously, DVS and control vinyls have got their place, and they've got a purpose, and they're there for a reason. As Matt was explaining, as soon as you get into a club with this kind of thing, you've got vibrations and stuff to deal with. But this felt really great. Now, what turntable are we using today?
So we've got the VL12 here, partnered with the Scratch, the Den DJ VL12.
Ooh, prime as well.
Okay, yeah. And obviously with the VL12, we've got the adjustable platter colour as well.
Oh, check that!
But me being kind of fairly OCD, I always match it to the colour of the cartridge.
Oh yeah.
I'm using. Obviously we've got red vinyl as well.
Mate, red all round.
I'm using the Practice Your Cuts series.
Yeah, so where would I get one of these? I need one of these.
Well, it's the Rishi Rough Tone series, you can find them online.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, first time with no laptop, nothing.
First time, really, honestly, I think I've played one vinyl in my life. Everything else has either been a time code or like a Numark Rane 12 or Rane 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
I've never used a proper vinyl for scratching. I've never had a cut, because I've always assumed the kind of sounds I didn't even know you could get a little practice cuts vinyl like this. I thought it was all just hot cue based inside a Serato. And
it can be, yeah, definitely it can be. Obviously with this, we aren't dealing with things like relative mode in Serato, so obviously relative mode, we can pick the needle up and it'd be in the same place if we wanted to be. Now we are at the mercy of the needle even more.
But you've got to use your ears, and it's nice.
Absolutely.
It's got that analog feel to it, that feel like I'm actually doing something rather than letting the computer do some of it.
Rather than looking at the computer.
Yeah, that's it, using your eyes, use your ears.
Well, you know what, I think before we collapse into a puddle, we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, I think
it's getting far too
intense.
It's
only fair that Matt shows me how it's done, and we get a nice little scratch routine out of you while you're here. Can't bring you all the way down here and not let you bang. So, as always, like if you like, dislike if you dislike, chuck us a comment, and check Matt's scratch.
And this is me banging.